guys, it's Cassie, and today I'm going to be talking about addiction and what makes a person an addict. I also have a chart that I'm going to show you kind of closer to the end of this video that will show you some differences in chemical levels in normal people versus addicts, and that's really it, so I'm going to get started. I think that everybody in recovery basically knows the basic definition of addiction. If you've been to NA, if you've been to any kind of treatment facility, anything like that, you know what the definition of addiction is. And basically it's just the abuse of any mood or mind altering substance of any kind. It could be drugs, alcohol. There are so many other things people can be addicted to. So it's just anything that alters your mood, your mind, that you are essentially addicted to, that you can't stop. That's pretty much the basic definition for addiction. So today I'm going to be kind of talking about the differences between a person who is addicted to drugs and a person who has done drugs or drank and does not get addicted, and what it is in certain people that causes that. So what makes a person an addict? I actually found a very interesting article in Psychology Today. It was written by author Dr. Nigel Barber, and the article was called Why Some People Are Drug Addicts. And they had some interesting sort of explanations in there as to why some people end up being addicts and others don't. So a couple of the definitions here that they put, one of them is an addict is a person who suffers from a biological vulnerability to some or all addictive substances. So that's still basically the basic definition of addiction. But another interesting thing that I read in this article was an alternative explanation for it, and it was created through psychological research, and it's that drug use is reinforcing to the person using, and that addicts simply just learn to repeat their actions and behaviors that made them feel good. And I found that interesting because they're almost in a way comparing it to like a compulsive OCD type of issue in a way, and I just found that very interesting that you know, the things that people are researching and starting to learn about this this issue. I know I won't go calling it a disease because I know some people don't necessarily believe it's a disease. I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but I do know it is a problem. And it's just really interesting and nice to see that people are actually researching it more and trying to figure out what the real issue is and why some people end up like this and others can do the same exact things and just be fine. So what I have come to learn, though, is that brain chemicals in normal people versus the brain chemicals in addicts are made up differently, and mostly it's affecting dopamine and dopamine receptors and how our brains react to or how the dopamine reacts to the drugs or the alcohol or the substance that you put into your body. So I have a chart that I'm going to try to show you guys and not stumble over my words here, but it's basically a dopamine chart, and what it's going to show, and I'm going to write it out as I'm talking. So what it's going to show basically is the levels in a normal person versus the levels of dopamine in a person who uses drugs or alcohol. So I'll write it first and then show you afterwards. So a normal person's dopamine levels are up here. So they're there. I don't know if you can see that line right there. Right there. That's a normal person. You see that? So an addict is going to be down here. Right there. That's an addict's dopamine levels. So they're significantly lower than a normal person, which is going to be up here. So when a normal person uses or drinks, they go up here they get a buzz, hello, buzz, and then they come back down to their normal levels, like that, right? And then they can go on with everything they're doing in their life, everything that they're doing, they go back to their normal routine. An addict is going to go from here, they're going to go up, they're going to get a buzz, and they're going to come back down to their normally low part, but then it's going to continue to go down. So it doesn't just stop at the already abnormally low dopamine level, it continues to drop. Because we're you know, oh, by the way, dopamine is the chemical in your brain that makes you happy. So where the normal person up here is going to wake up in the morning and be happy and excited and you know about just normal things, we aren't. You know, addicts are not like that. We're not built like that. Our dopamine receptors are low enough to the point that what makes us happy is way further down than what makes a normal person happy. So when we get a buzz, we have to go all the way up here to feel the same way as a normal person when they get a buzz. So when we go back down, we're back to feeling, you know, low, unhappy, unsatisfied, discontent, restless, all that same stuff you hear about. But then we go down here, and it takes another 7 to 10 days to get back up to the normally already low point that an addict is at. So right here, it takes 7 to 10 days. That's where you are detoxing. Wherever it is over here somewhere. That's where you're detoxing, and that is also where your cravings come in, is right there. So you'll start craving, you'll start stealing, you'll start doing whatever you have to do to get all the way back up here, because that's what makes you happy. And then you don't use again, you go back down all the way low, and the cycle just continues to repeat. And it repeats over and over and over again. Whereas a normal person, when their dopamine levels drop after getting high or drunk, they go right back to their normal routine. We get stuck in this cycle down here. So, I know that might have been a little bit confusing. That's my first time trying to do a chart on camera. But, also, I had found, online somebody who also did this chart. It was James Sweezy, so credit to him also. And I just found it so interesting because it definitely shows how, while it may not be a disease, it certainly, drugs and alcohol certainly do affect people. And it's people who have a different chemical makeup in their brain. So, you know, dopamine can be a real bitch, but that's all I have for today. You know, the next video I have to do, I'm going to dig deeper into the article I was telling you guys about in the beginning of the video, and, you know, talk more about the chart. I won't do it again, but I'll talk more about it and you know, brain chemicals and stuff like that in the next video that I do, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it made sense.